We're back on the air. This is Radio Entrepreneurs. Thank you for listening, all our entrepreneurial fans. And we are being hosted through this whole group of segment of shows by PR First in Hanover, Massachusetts, Washington. And this is their world headquarters. And I want to thank my co-host, Jim Farrell.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey, and welcome to all of you.
Thank you. Our next guest is Marcia LaBelle, Vice President, NFI, which is Nameplates for Industry. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So tell us about Nameplates for Industry.
We are a global supplier of plastic graphic solutions for all industries across the country and globally. We do a lot of different types of products. They range for every industry. We are one of the products that can be used anywhere. We already found some on your mics that need a little help.
A lot of help.
So we can do any type of graphic identification with self-adhesive generally, but it doesn't have to be, as well as very complex assemblies like membrane switches, which are printed with conductive silver ink, and they have multiple layers and they have to be assembled, and then they're an electronic, like your microwave keypad, something that we use every day and everybody touches every day. And most of us go to the doctor many times too often than we'd like, and if you go into a medical office or a hospital, you'll see all their equipment, and there's all kinds of graphic, what we call graphic overlays on all those pieces of equipment that are telling the doctors and you all the
It's all right, let's go.
all the good stuff that's happening in your body. So it's a very technical product, but a very simple product, and one that's forgotten about many times, but everybody is looking at some sort of graphic identification generally in their company. And it's one of the last things that are thought about.
So your nice subtle branding for everybody.
You
and
got
identification.
It. I like that. Yes.
Yes. You're not overwhelming people, but you're making sure that people know where they are and what's going on around them.
That's absolutely right. There's instructional labels. There are all kinds of types of nameplates that we don't even think about. When you go to a local hardware store and you buy a ladder, there are 17 labels on that ladder that tell you how to be safe.
Oh, you touched one of my... To me, there's only one thing on a ladder, and it says Warner.
It's so innocuous you don't even notice that they're there many times. You're absolutely right.
Well, I'm friends with the Warners, so I like the Warners. They're great people. It's interesting. We have an expression at Mage. Is it crisp proof? And so you see the ones we have here. You do things like the signs on our microphones that are all scratched up.
Absolutely.
And you could actually improve on that, correctly?
We could absolutely improve. Our labels and nameplates are usually last longer than the life of the product that they're on, unlike maybe the ones I'm seeing here on your radio microphones that aren't doing that. You can see them peeling a little bit. We can see them rubbing off. We print on the subsurface side, the second side of the plastic, so the plastic is protecting the ink so no one can scratch it, and then we engineer the adhesive so it's adhered correctly to the right application. So something that would stick on a desk, for instance, or a microphone, you'd need two different types of adhesives, and a lot of people don't think about that. They just say, I just want a label.
So it's not just that you're doing these branded IDs, you're really doing a high end of it, a quality.
We are. We have to engineer the entire construction to make sure it sticks permanently for you. We have 3 or 4 key characteristics that most customers come to us for. One is durability, because it doesn't the color doesn't last, it scratches, it peels off, and then of course there's always delivery and service that they're looking for as well.
Well, that's good. I don't think you thought you were going to come today and make a close immediately during your interview, but you've made one already.
I know, that's awesome.
That's really great. How did you get involved with this business?
Kind of interestingly, it was through a friend. I did not, we ask ourselves, why did we end up where we end up? And this was not where I thought I would end up. You go to business school, and then I worked in the hospitality industry for a very long time. But all those skill sets that I learned, inventory management, people management, business management, were all able to be applied to this industry. But I knew nothing about it. And most of us, when we come into this industry, don't know anything about it. But I have been in the industry for almost 24 years now, and grasped it, read every magazine that came in about it, and learned about it. But I came in as their business systems analyst. and then started off doing some of their financial programs, their personnel issues, and then learned the operations and how that ran, and went to a lot of courses, how to screen print, how to do all of those type of things, and just learned the business over the years.
Interesting. And, I this might be obvious to everyone. Can you give us sort of a range of industries that tend to work with you? And I would assume nonprofits as well, correct?
Absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, the scope of the businesses and services that we help and provide solutions for range from very high-tech companies, major companies that are name brand companies. I mentioned microwaves, so it could be a household appliance, all the way to a landscaper that just needs a business card, or a radio station that might need a label. So it ranges, and that's what's interesting about the product and about the business itself, is because there's not any industry or any type of person that doesn't need this somewhere that they're touched in their life or their business. So we can help a beauty salon, and we can help a major electronic company that's doing all kinds of handheld instruments, or televisions that we watch, or, as I mentioned earlier, microwaves that we all touch on a daily basis. Our primary industries tend to be OEMs, medical industries, transportation, electronics, instrumentation. Those tend to be our primary businesses, but sometimes unusual ones come into the fold, including nonprofits. We did a great fundraiser where people could buy the labels. They were engraved with donor names, and they were put up in a local park and zoo. So that was a selling point for them, and that was one of our biggest sales for the year, actually.
Is this a proprietary process that you apply?
No, it is not.
Okay. So others could do it, but you choose to do it at a higher end.
We do
Okay.
choose to do it on a higher end, and it's a niche business. A lot of people start in their garage and then build it. We're a medium-sized company, and we're not the largest, but we're certainly not the smallest.
And how long have you been in business?
We've been in business 42 years.
And who's the we?
The owner is Renaud Magard, and he purchased the business about 3 years ago from the first entrepreneur of the company, who started it 42 years ago. So we have two entrepreneurs that have owned the business right now.
And he's done a successful transition, which is never easy to do.
No, it's been very successful and very exciting for the team.
That's very nice to know. And if I can ask you, since we're at PR First, how did you meet Jim?
Jim, I don't remember how we met.
We met through Renault, and he was introduced to us by somebody in his Vistage group, Jeffrey Glassman.
That's right.
And so we went down and met with the whole team, talked to them, and we were impressed by the scope and the capability of what they do, and their whole entrepreneurial vision of where they want to take the company. And one of the early takeaways for me was that their products appear in places you'd never expect. You could see an NFI product on a submarine, you could see one in outer space on a rocket. So they go pretty much everywhere.
Well, we hope within the next 30 days we're going to see it every day on our videos for Radio
Hopefully we will.
Entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
I mean, the
That would be
producer's there
awesome.
with the checkbook and the credit card. He's right there. Marcia, if someone wants to get hold of you, how would they do that?
We're located in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Our website is www.nficorp.com, or our 800 number is 800-999-8900.
Well, Marcia, thanks for being on the show today, and continued success.
Thank you very much,
I know you
Jeffrey.
solved a problem for us at Radio Entrepreneurs. It's always been an issue with decaying covers. So we're going to look forward to using your product.
Can't wait to help. Thank
We're
you.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after these messages at the world headquarters of PR First in Hanover, Massachusetts.